Hello everyone, welcome to Wednesday's Talking Reds in association with Tokyo Time. You're not dreaming, we are back. My name is Mo Stewart, this is Rob Gutmann.
It's been a while, hasn't it?
It has been a while.
Why did they put us on ice? I actually don't know why that
Yeah, there are multiple reasons, many of them...
Good reasons, I'm sure.
Good reasons, mostly. Yeah. Some of them was that you went on holiday and I was off fanning around playing basketball. But we're back now.
We are back.
And we're ready to give you a jam-packed show full of exciting rumours and all other things that have happened in the course of the last 24 hours. Unfortunately, we're starting with a bad thing because I don't know if you were aware, some of you may have switched off from all football by this point, but Scotland were meant to be playing Belgium last night. They did play Belgium last night. Unfortunately, they were without their captain, Andy Robertson, who missed the game due to a hamstring strain, which is obviously not good. I mean, we're not going to be playing any football in the next few months, but it's still not good that he missed this game. We don't know if it's a precaution. We haven't heard exactly the extent of time he's going to be missing, Rob. But you never like to hear about those things, especially someone as vital to our team as him.
No. He had tried his best to be ready for the game. Steve Clark, the man,
Yes.
Steve Clark said he woke up with it, he could still feel it. Sounds minor, but it's what's the word? It might be a sign of things to come if we're not careful. It could even be a proper tear. It could easily be a 6-week job. That could happen next season. Who knows? He's never had a hamstring for us yet. It's never a good sign. I think when players even get one, I think it sort of means they're going to get a second at some point as well. I don't know, maybe just being anxious. Hey Mo, we need another left back, don't we?
We do.
A backup left back, if you will.
Especially when we consider the workload that we asked them to do. Now, obviously, Alba Moreno's left, and he's not going to necessarily be missed in that respect. We've got James Milner, who is currently a left back option. We've got Adam Lewis, who's coming through the youth team, who's apparently a good prospect. But we need an actual left back, whether it's someone who can play left and right or someone who can just play left. But we need a good stand-in so we're not crossing our fingers every time Andy Robertson takes the pitch.
Isn't Joe Gomez can play both sides?
Joe Gomez has played left back as well, yeah.
Yes, he did, didn't he? In fact, wasn't he more... Is Joe Gomez more predominantly left-sided naturally?
Well, when he's playing as a centre-half, he plays on the right side of the centre-half.
Yeah, he does with Virgil.
But his first games out for Liverpool under Brendan Rodgers were at left-back.
They were,
and he did
weren't
play,
they?
I think it was as many as 10 games there. So he is a good adaptable player. For me personally, I like having him as an option. I want him to be third option. I want him to be able to concentrate this season on becoming the best centre-half in the league. And I think that he can do that. So that's my little bit of homework for Joe Gomez. But you're right. I mean, I've spoken on other shows about the fact that we've not been in for any left backs at all yet. We've not had very many strong rumours.
There's a reason. It's a difficult ask because who wants to come and be Andy Robertson's understudy? You know, you can say to some kid, and he's going to have to literally be an 18-year-old or a Kiana Herver type who can be patient. But anyone who wants to play football is not going to come and be Andy's understudy unless they want to sit there actively praying that he gets injured.
We're playing a lot of games though. So essentially, if you're in a situation now, we're in 2 more competitions. Admittedly, one of them's only 1 game in the European Super Cup, but we're going to be playing 2 games in the World Cup Championship. We always got the build-up around Christmas time and the FA Cup. I can guarantee you that as much as people may say that it helped us last season, going out early in both domestic cups is not on the agenda for next season. So they need to really seriously think about building a team that can play in those as well. So someone who is on the up, who maybe thinks that they can usurp Robertson over the next couple of years, he's a person we should be looking for.
Someone who's going to have to really back themselves, because even with the extra games, Andy Robertson played virtually every single game, didn't he, last season? So this lad might get, if he's lucky, he gets 20%, 15% of a bigger pool of games, but it's still not, he's still very much the backup option unless there's an injury. I think Liverpool will look for, and I think this is the only way they can sell these jobs to players. Now it's like looking for another front 3 player. You can't sell it to someone and go, you're going to be specifically a right winger and Mo Salah's understudy, because they're going to go, well, fuck that. So you've got to sell them on the idea that there's a couple of positions they can play. So to my mind, they may well look for a player who can play centrally and at left back. I don't know. I don't know if that creature exists readily enough, but mind you, there's a fair bit of versatility around our defence. And there's talk, wasn't there, about Lovren moving on, so
We'll have to watch that space. You just can't help yourself with the transfer.
No.
We're going to be talking more transfer in the second half of the show. But first, here's a word from our sponsors.
Tokyo Time are partnering us throughout this season, sponsoring Talking Reds, and we're delighted they are doing so. They are a premium headwear company based here in Liverpool, but represented throughout the world. Here's a really cool video that made the shows a little bit more about what they're about. They're supporting us this season, so make sure you support them.
Perfect.
Thanks as always to take your time there. Now, we're here in a rather comfortable section of our home here at Avenue HQ, right on the edge of the docks. It's not necessarily the quietest place though, so you may well hear some drilling and noises and maintenance going on in the background. For that, we apologise. Now, something else that's been going on in the background and making quite a lot of noise, especially to our ears, has been transfers. And those of you who watched the show that we put out yesterday, the Transfer Rumours show, would have seen me and Robbo and Paul Cope talk effusively about Nicolas Pépé and how well he would fit into our team and get excited about the idea of us signing him. Well, since then, the story of Pepe has been poo-pooed. It's one for you Eurovision fans out there. Unfortunately, both David Gorst on the local beat and Paul Gorst on the local beat and David Lynch of the Evening Standard have both come out and said that we are not interested in Pepe.
Lynchy said it as well?
Yes, he has.
Lynchy.
To the point where he's actually said that the rumours that we are kind of fake interest in order to drive up the price. And we have seen the quotations go from 50 to 60 to 70 to 80 over the course of the last week. So, Rob, I know how much you love transfer rumours. I know how much you want to hold on to the idea of Liverpool going out and buying great attacking players. What's your gut instinct on this?
A lot worse than it was 2 minutes ago before I didn't know Lynchy had also thrown his own into the ring. It swings, it ebbs and flows, this rumour, because the French media have sort of been tickling it along, which you could sort of go, yeah, that's agent-driven, until that fella Bouhafsi, who we talked about on one of our podcasts a couple of days ago, who got Fabinho before everybody else, an hour before everybody else, but he got him before everybody else, and he's quite well respected now in transfer dork circles. And
but how much respect goes on in those circles?
Yeah, well, we are where we are. Exactly. we're through the looking glass. Yeah, so he's got a degree of credibility, and he says Liverpool are. He's not saying Liverpool are getting Pepe. He's saying Liverpool have been speaking with Lille, and it's now up to Pepe to decide where he wants to play. And his options, according to Bouhafsi, were Bayern Munich, us, and an important third club, in Bouhafsi's words, who people think he means Inter Milan for some reason. So it ain't over till it's over. Yes, if the local patch guys are saying it's not happening, it's because Liverpool are saying it's not happening. But whether Liverpool are telling the truth or not remains to be seen. They have lied to us before.
Exactly.
Blatantly lied.
We don't hold it against you guys. We understand why you do it. But no, the counterpoint from Bouhafsi, as someone else mentioned in the comments on his Twitter thread, was that sometimes the clubs minimise their interests so as to avoid disappointment should he choose a different club.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, there's no real way of proving that either way. You can't prove a negative. But the idea of other clubs throwing our name into the hat, or agents throwing our name into the hat to bump up the price, that's definitely a thing. So we can't discount that completely. Are we just
Liverpool, I mean, the big test case for are the club putting out true noises or not on this was Alisson last summer, where he was heavily linked to us from January onwards, but by the time it came to the action and the bidding stage a bit, for the main part of the summer, Liverpool were putting out messages that they weren't interested in Alisson, that they were going to persevere.
We were starting the season with
Karius, and then when it was clearly a ridiculous idea,
the pre-season game with
Danny Ward came to the fore. And then out of the blue almost, and the noises first came from Italy. I remember Dave Maddock at the Mirror going, sorry to disappoint everyone, there is zero chance of Liverpool signing Alisson. Within about 3 days of that, the Italian media were all over it, and the British media were going, I'm not sure. And there he was, presented within another 3 days of that.
And a nice little festive bow. So
what to believe?
We don't know. The interesting part of Lynch's story, which I want to kind of piggyback off of, is that he mentioned that we aren't looking for Pepe in conjunction with the idea of us giving Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain an extension, on a 12-month extension to his contract, taking him through to 2023, which almost allows you to suggest that one is replacing the other. Now, that would be a shock to me. I mean, obviously, it's a good news that Oxlade-Chamberlain is going to be extending his deal. It's like they're basically replacing the year he missed through injury. But the idea of using this to placate the idea of not getting another one, that's a dangerous strategy, isn't it?
There's a link between, David Lynch suggested there's a link between the two. I'd be surprised, but it's I mean, if Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain played in the front three roles more, I'd say yeah, but he has barely figured in the front three for us. I'm surprised just plainly that they're extending his contract at this stage. As Elijah's been out for a full year, I think we're a good 6 months away from knowing whether we're going to get the real Oxlade-Chamberlain back. I don't think he just hits the ground running here. So I'm surprised, although a year extension isn't a big extension. But
this is the thing, really, because they've announced that they plan to do it, but no actual talks have begun. Both sides are relaxed about it, seeing it as an inevitability. So it's not like they're saying, oh, he's about to sign. So all of the kind of minutiae of the deal in terms of how good is he and whether they put any kind of performance injury related things in there, none of that has happened yet. What they're saying is, look, we're definitely going to extend this deal. And for me, that's where the link between that and Pepe news comes out, because it's almost like, yeah, you're disappointed about that, but look, this guy's going to be here for longer. That's kind of where the link comes in my mind.
I think if the club wanted to kill our transfer dreams for the summer, I think we'd have seen a bit more of that more recently. I mean, January we didn't sign anybody, and they actually said we're not going to sign.
Yeah, that was early on.
That's pretty early on. Whereas if you read what the local patch boys are saying, and I presume that their information comes direct from the club, they are saying what they're doing continually is playing down Liverpool having a spending spree akin to last summer's. But they're always going, of course, Liverpool would like it. It's almost said very quickly. Liverpool would like a versatile forward to cover the front positions. Well, you go, well, yeah, and that's going to be a serious player to cover those three lads. So even if it's not a Nicolas Pépé, I'll be very surprised if it's not a player with at least that kind of profile and value. If you ask me to put my hat on who I think we'd bring in this summer, I think it's going to come down to probably him or Memphis Depay. If you want a wild card, I suggested on a show we did the other day, I don't know if you'd heard it, I suggested that a name that hasn't been mentioned that I think would be fantastic, and I think Liverpool could get, would be Jadon Sancho. Ooh. I think there'd be a lot of competition for him, but I don't see why, or A, we could afford him, and B, I think we could persuade him. He's not going back to City.
No.
He's not going to Man U if he's got any brains, if Liverpool are coming in for him. Yeah. You think I'm mad?
No, I don't think you're mad. I think you're a mad, evil genius. And I love it. I'm here for it 100%. And I don't know, it just, I can almost look into your head and see the transfer cogs turning.
My shiny recession.
No, your moisturizer's working, that's fine, don't worry. But there's plenty more transfer rumours that you're going to be hearing about from both me and him together and individually over the course of the next few weeks, days, months, until they stop us doing it.
Endless transfer.
To be honest, even after then, there's probably going to be some, to be fair. Now, in terms of other shows coming out, we've got another one of our season review series coming out later today. That one's going to be involving, amongst others, Neil Jones and Ben Johnson. So anyone who's a fan of Rob Johnson's ratings, you want to listen out for that one. We're also doing another gutter show, so there's going to be even more transfer activity happening in that. You want to tell us some more about that one?
Today's one or Friday? Oh, today's one. I'm not on today's one, but Neil's hosting it. I think he's going to be talking about Dejan Lovren possibly leaving, as I mentioned earlier. I don't know who else he's talking about. There's a guy whose name I can't pronounce. Chukwueze, I think. He's a 19-year-old Nigerian. The Neil Jones actually mentioned as a possible credible link, but I'm not giving it any credibility because he's only 19, and I don't think we're buying a 19-year-old.
And you can't pronounce his name, so you really hope it doesn't come. That's basically.
I think it's Chukwueze.
I'm not even going to correct you. I'm just going to leave that one hanging out there. It's been fun, as always, guys. Whenever the two of us get together, that's all you can expect. Big thank you to watching. We'll see you again soon. Up the Reds.